Hi, everybody. This is Steve at Little Treasury Jewelers, and bringing you our Monday Miscellany show. Uh, I've just given you a very short notice to get together. As I can break from work, I come and try to set this up and get it going. And people have asked Craig at least for a little bit later hour, so I'm seeing how this works. And hopefully we'll get a few of you joining us with the show. Let me silence the phone meanwhile. And okay, that should do it. So I want to follow up on some remarks I made last time. We had a show talking about watches and wonders. I entitled it, I Watched and I Wondered. And in reflecting on it, I think I came across as a little bit negative and talked about being underwhelmed by the event. And I think most of my remarks really need to be taken as being addressed to the format and the fact that we had a remote event rather than in person, and the challenges of making an online presentation interesting and interactive. So that was largely the gist of what I was talking about, but also talked about incremental changes in models versus more dramatic reveals of collections. And that shouldn't be taken as too negative. Also, because I think a lot of the changes that were shown in some of the models were very positive, if not earth-shaking. So just wanted to clear that up. And a couple of you are coming aboard now. If you'd identify yourself, like to say hi, and get a sound check, see if everything's sounding proper. So give me a little feedback, if you will. Okay, so I have the first watch I want to bring forth tonight is, and working with another revised setup here, so bear with me. And so we talked briefly last week about the Nomos adding a peripheral date to their Metro model, and also some of the other models in the collection. And on the right is the original Metro with a power reserve indicator, which isn't on the current one I'm showing on the left, but it does have a date. And the newer model, the release from this year, has the peripheral date, and I'll show you how that works. And if you can see the date advancing in the periphery, bracketed by the two red marks. And so a little bit of element of color added to highlight that. And a larger case, this is a little bit over 40 millimeters, and the other was about, the earlier one, about 38. So that is the difference there. Now, remarkably, this is now an automatic, and the prior was a manual wind. And the automatic is coming in at slightly about 9.1 millimeters thick. So they've really preserved a very thin look by a very special movement that they released a couple of years ago. And adding the date as well, and the automatic feature, it's only slightly thicker than the prior version. And if I can find my little measuring tool, which is somewhere about and not readily at hand, I could throw a measurement on that for you. I'm sure that'll show up somewhere during the show. So let's continue. Okay. Still looking for that sound check, folks. And let me know how that is working, if you will. Okay, so this is the Nomos introduction of a modification, upgrade to automatic, larger case, and adding the peripheral date, but still preserving a lot of the elements of the original design. And the new one comes in at 40 millimeters, a little bit more, and with that very minimal bezel and the white dial and a lot of open space, it appears quite a bit larger. So that is what's going on with Nomos. So let's see what else we can bring forth here. Let's get back to me, and I'm going to bring out another piece. And this is really changing it up. I've got a mixed bag today, as I advertised. And let's look at this piece from Oris, their diver, which I mentioned in a prior show. But again, this is, I would say, a bold introduction for this year. We're looking down from the top, and let's get that. Here we go. It's a little better shot. This is a pretty massive dive watch, and it is coming in at, I'm going to give you a measurement on it, live, about 47 millimeters, and it is 1,000-meter depth rated, and a pretty cool piece. It's got their caliber 400 movement in it. It's got the 10-year warranty, the 5-day power reserve, and also a 10-year interval between servicing estimated. So pretty good piece coming in from Oris, and definitely something to take a look at if you're into the larger pieces. And this is priced at $4,600, and just new to the store in the last week or so. So that is that piece. So let's move on. So we are dealers for Seiko Astron, and this piece that just came out fairly recently has it's a limited edition of, I believe, 2,500 pieces. It's in titanium, but it's all black, black case and black bracelet, and it looks like a DLC coating on it. I'm not sure that's in the specs exactly from Seiko, but that's what I suspect it is. So this commemorates Kentaro Hattori, the founder of Grand Seiko, 140-year anniversary. And as in Grand Seiko, there have been a number of commemoration pieces, and also in the Seiko lines, and this is the piece in Astron. And it is has a very interesting bezel treatment. It's faceted, as I hope you can see. And this will tell time automatically in virtually any place in the world. It gathers satellite information. It is solar powered. It is a beautiful piece, very well finished, as all of the Astrons are now, and worth your consideration if you're into a solar powered watch that will automatically set time anywhere in the world. Does it automatically twice a day when it can see satellites, and you can do it on demand as well. So a fine piece indeed. So let's forge ahead with another piece and give you back to me. So this is totally mixed bag evening, and I have here one of the GShock Casio pieces, and so-called Casio being reminiscent to many of the AP Royal Oak. And we got, and they've been in many finishes. They've been in all black, all red, various other iterations. This is the totally transparent case model, and we expect these to sell out rather quickly. These are, we got 20 in, and usually when the Casio models come in, they get gobbled up pretty rapidly. And I don't have the tag in front of me. I think this comes in at about $110 or $110. So very reasonable, very pleasant to wear, obviously very light, and having all the GShock ruggedness and sort of a very cool see-through look. So I'd like to know what some of you think about some of these pieces. Put something in the post, and let's get an opinion. Which one of these would you wear? Okay. And cut back to me. Excuse me. And just a final shot. And this is not a new piece, but new on the air with us. And this is the Breitling Emergency that we have in the store. And these actually are fairly rare in the retail shops, I understand. And let's put a measurement on this beast. Whoops. So this comes in at just about 52 millimeters in width. It is obviously a battery-powered piece. It is thick, it is heavy, it is titanium, however. And if you don't know the story of the Emergency, it is, let me just focus that a little better, there you go. If you see the crown-like piece at the bottom of the case, if you unscrew that, you pull it out, there's a wire attached that spreads out like an antenna, and that will bring forth search and rescue people to your location from virtually any place in the world. And pretty interesting device. It's a one-time use and has to be sent back to the factory after that occasion. And you don't want to make a mistake with that and pull it out. I do have a customer who has one, and I think his child did play with it and did pull out the antenna, and they did get a response, and I think the result was several $1,000s of reparations for the people who were brought out. But literally, this does work anywhere in the world and is a massive piece. And I do have a couple of customers who have them and wear them, and not quite sure of the circumstances in which they do, but except for the one who had the relative pulling the plug. So that is my final watch of the evening. I thought you might get a kick out of this one. And with that, if there are no questions or chat, I am going to wrap it up. So thank you for watching. We'll have some more of these later short presentations in the coming weeks, and that will do it. So with that, I need to find my way out of here and sign off.